Step number one is I need to know how much money I need to make so I can quit my job. So if I'm working a job right now and it's paying me, let's call it $80,000 a year, that means I need to be making roughly $6,700 a month to be able to quit my job and not change my lifestyle. Step number two, I gotta set my business parameters. I've been a business owner for more than a decade now, and what I look for in a good business are 5 things. Number one is scalable revenue potential. So hypothetically, if I could sell my labor for $100 an hour, well, that means now my revenue potential is linear, because if I wanted to make $1,000, I have to work for 10 hours. If I wanted to make $10,000, I have to work for 100 hours. I have to keep working more to earning more. I want to own something that can 10x the revenue potential for every piece of incremental effort that I put in. So if I put in 10 hours of my time, I get out $100. But if I put in $100 of my time, now I can make $10,000. I put in a little bit more work to make a lot more dollars out. To give you a practical example of what I mean by the scalable revenue is, in my company Briefs Media, we have a product called Market Briefs. This is a free financial newsletter for investors. We have hundreds of thousands of investors that read Market Briefs every morning, and the way that we make money on this newsletter is we have advertisers that buy advertisements in our newsletter. Well, the cost to us to produce this newsletter doesn't really change whether we have 5 people reading the newsletter or 500,000 people reading the newsletter. It's the same newsletter. Now, as we've grown, we've added more staff to make it a better product, to add more creativity, to keep it funny, to keep it interesting and within our brand. But the real cost of producing the newsletter doesn't really go up, and the cost to send the newsletter doesn't really change. I mean, yeah, we have some slightly additional operational costs with our software and other things like that, but the real cost of running the business doesn't scale the way that the revenue can scale, because when we grow from 50,000 subscribers to 500,000 subscribers, our revenue can 10x, but our operational costs grow marginally. That's what scalable revenue potential means. Number two is I want to see reoccurring revenue. I like to think of it like toothpaste. Most people use toothpaste. If you don't use toothpaste, keep your distance, but toothpaste is a great business because you got to use your toothpaste in the morning, you got to use your toothpaste in the evening, and some of you are also probably using your toothpaste in the middle of the day. And so you keep needing that toothpaste, which means you got to keep buying more toothpaste. That's the type of business model I want to see, instead of something like ACs or furnaces. When you buy an AC unit for your house, you hopefully will never need a new AC for 10, 20, or 30 years. I don't like that. I want to own something where people have to keep buying it again and again and again. Number three is high profit margin. This speaks for itself. I want to own something that has big profit potential. So if I pay an attorney $1,000 to review a contract, pretty much all of that is profit because there's very little cost. It's just your labor, compared to something like selling t-shirts. If I sold a t-shirt for $25, well, I have to pay the cost of designing for the t-shirt, I have to pay the cost for the actual shirt, I have to pay the cost for printing on the shirt, and then I have to pay to actually ship that shirt out. And so I'm going to be left with very little money after paying for that whole process. So I want the higher profit potential. Number four, I want this business to solve a high pain problem. So for example, I can go out and create an app that shows you your checkings account balance, your savings account balance, and your stock brokerage balance all in one app. It's cool and convenient, but it doesn't solve a very heavy pain point, which is just I have to go to another app to see the balance of money that I have. Compare that to this, an app that now tells you when you have a bill coming due, it tells you when you're being overcharged by a company, it tells you when you have a subscription that you're not using, so it tells you when you're wasting money on things that you shouldn't be, and then it will go and negotiate those bills down for you. So the pain here is you're paying too much money and it's going to save you money. That's a much higher pain threshold. I'd be more willing to pay for something that can save me money as opposed to something that just is going to show me my account balances right there when I could just go to the other app and see how much money I have in the other account. I'm much more willing to pay money and pay more money to something that's going to give me more pain reduction. And then number five, it's got to be something that's actually sellable. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I like tea, and I can go out and create the world's best tea mug. It's beautiful, it sits perfectly in your hand, and it's going to keep your tea at the perfect temperature. Now I could go out and build this. Maybe I got to sell it for a lot of money. I got to sell it for $2,000 to actually make any money on it because of how intricate this thing is. But not many people are going to want to pay $2,000 for a tea mug. So it's got to be something that people would actually be willing to pay for, which then aligns with all of the others. So we started by talking about how much money you would need to be able to quit your job. Then we set your business parameters. Now we're on to step number 3, which is find the pain and mix in your secret sauce. In business, there are 5 pain areas that people are willing to spend the most money on. And they are: number 1, the pain of time, wasting time, not having time. The pain of 2, finances. If you can help somebody save money or earn more money, they'll be willing to spend money on that. The pain of 3, health. People will spend money on their health, whether they already have a problem or want to prevent a problem. People will spend money on their health for that. Number 4, the pain of happiness. People want to feel happy, and if you can help somebody be happier or stay happy, they will spend money on that. And number 5, the pain of peace of mind. People will pay for security. People will pay for insurance. People will pay for the peace of mind. That way they can rest comfortably knowing that their loved ones are safe and sound. This is where you have to find your moat. Now, I talk a lot about investing on this channel, and Warren Buffett has coined the term moat with his investments, which means he looks for investments, he looks for companies that have a big barrier to entry. That's what the moat is. That no other company can compete with this company because of how good their moat is. For example, Coca-Cola has a big moat. Why? Because you could put a Coca-Cola and an RC Cola right next to each other, charge 4 times more for the Coca-Cola, and people will still pay for the Coca-Cola because they love the Coca-Cola. That's what your moat is. Now, for you, what is your moat? If you're just starting off, my moat is me. It's my interest. It's what I know better than anybody else around me. And for me, my moat is finance and marketing. These are 2 things that I like. So I want to be able to mix my interests, finance and marketing, things that I'm interested in, things that I will spend a lot of time learning and being the best at. And now I want to blend that right here with the pain points, because that's what's going to help me build a product that I can actually sell. Now, I already own a business on the finance side. I own Briefs Media, one of the fastest growing financial media companies in the United States. So for the purposes of this video, I'm not gonna talk about the finance side, I'm gonna talk about the marketing side, because that's something that I'm not doing, but it's something that I'm interested in. And I also wanna utilize artificial intelligence because technology is all moving towards AI, so I wanna make sure that I'm on top of the AI. So my secret sauce is going to be marketing, because I'm already doing the finance side. I'm gonna focus on marketing, I'm gonna utilize AI, and then I wanna solve a pain point. I'm going to utilize this business parameters, that way I can get to this number. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.